welcome to another episode of Pink Angel. Um, Coming to you live from my front room. Anyway, what I want to talk about, I've probably been a little blunt, and I apologize for that. You know, a lot of people are hating on trans people, saying that trans women are men, that trans people are mentally ill. And unfortunately, I have to disagree with that because trans women are women. They are not men in dresses. They are not clowns or whatever else you want to call them. Trans women are women. Trans women are real women. And, you know, no one is trying to take women's spaces from women. But here's the question I have. The question I have to everyone out there is this. Some of you are very judgmental and set in your ways, and that's fine. You can do that. But here's what I want to share with everybody today is that you know, to judge others and then be upset is not really the thing you should be doing. Because if you're going to say that there's no such thing as transphobia or homophobia and all this other stuff, that's not true. There is. And a lot of you like to use the Bible to justify your hate toward the LGBT community or the trans community, because right now the trans community is getting hit harder than anyone. And before I continue, I want to say hello to JC at Banner University on McDowell. I was a patient there a while back, and if she's on here listening, I want to say thank you for listening and thank you for all the care you gave when I was there. I really appreciate you. And yeah, so what I want to do is share something that I found. Hold on a minute. First thing I want to do is share some of the Bible verses that are in support on love, inclusion, and acceptance when it comes to the LGBTQ community or the trans community. Psalm 139, 13 through 14. And if those of you on here that are listening, if you want to look those up, you can. Even if you want to go on deal and see. Romans 15:7 is another one. Now, Psalms 139, 13 through 14 states that God knits each person together in their mother's womb, and that everyone is fearful and wonderfully made, including queer identities. 1 John 4:16, Galatians 3:28, and Isaiah 56:4 through 5. Those are verses on inclusion, love, and acceptance. And some other ones I will share with you are teachings on grace and rejecting judgment. Matthew 7:1, verse 2. Romans 8:38 through 39. Micah 6:8. And also theologians interpret specific traditional verses, often called clobber verses. Or are you looking for resources from specific Christian denominations that welcome LGBTQ individuals? But a clobber passage is one like Leviticus, or I think Deuteronomy, maybe another one. Those are verses that preach against the LGBT community, but I have actually found verses in the Bible that teach love, acceptance, and inclusion. And those are the ones that would pertain to the trans community. So even though a lot of you out there will say differently, you have to understand that, when Jesus got mad and made a scene at the temple, he didn't stop talking to the people. He still talked to the tax collectors, the adulterers, and everything else. He didn't throw his temper tantrum at the temple and then say, well, because you're an adulteress, I can't talk to you. Because you're a tax collector, I can't talk to you. He talked to everybody whether he liked them or not. Now, his sole purpose for obviously talking to them would be to reach out to them, to get them to Christ. But not everybody responded to Jesus in that manner. They talked to Jesus, yes, but they didn't go to his side per se to be saved. Maybe most of them did. But when you attack the trans community, you're doing more damage, or anybody that's part of the LGBTQ community. And this whole let's remove the T thing that's going on in that's, if you look back at Christina Jorgensen and Marsha P. Johnson, these are people that either started the movement of Stonewall or were involved in the movement of Stonewall. There is a lady that I still got to figure out her name. I don't know, but there's a lady that was a lesbian who was the first one to actually start the movement. And when I find that out, I will share that with you. And that's why, when I find that, I'll post it or I'll do a video on it. But here's the thing. You can't, if you're going to be mad at people from the LGBT community, because most of you have to when you see somebody on video and you like to make fun of their hair, the way they look, or what the case would be. And unfortunately, doing that, you think that may harm that person, and it could, But if that person's trying not to let the comments bother them and continue doing what they're doing on social media, then I say go for that. I I have been discriminated by people at Jack in the Box at 7th Street and Buckeye at that store location. Also, the other one on over by Valley Wise Hospital. But the ones that I really am for is Banner Good Samaritan over on McDowell, uh, East McDowell Road. I met nurse there, JC, and she was very kind. And I hope she's still working there. And I hope that other patients that come in there that are part of the LGBT community, I hope they get her as their day nurse or night nurse, whatever the case may be. When I was in there, I got her as my day nurse, and she was part of the community. So she was not judgmental at all. We had very good talks, and I wish I could have had her as my nurse the whole entire time I was there, just for the care end of it. But there was a nurse that I had that was African American that was not so nice to me toward the end. Very, very demanding, very, very trying to manipulate things and what the doctor said versus what I was told by other people that had come in and saw me before. And unfortunately, she waited until I was eating my dinner for the night to come in and start this before she started her shift. My spouse was there, and we talked about it even after, before my spouse left. It kind of got me a little bit upset, but we worked it out, and that was pretty much all we did. But here's the thing I'm trying to tell you. It's not fair to be upset when people call you out when you are either transphobic or homophobic. Now, there's nothing wrong with being trans or gay. And I think being homophobic or transphobic is a mental illness. Being gay or trans is not a mental illness. But I will say that when I've been through the drive-through of Jack in the Box, the one on 7th Street in Buckeye, they used to serve me through the microphone or use, and I would tell them very politely, and I wasn't there to cause trouble. But now I have a YouTube channel because when I go somewhere, I normally film outside or inside, depending on where I'm going and who I'm talking to. I'm a customer service critic. As a 52-year-old female, I've learned that the best witness you can have is a camera. So if somebody says something and then you try to tell the manager and you have no proof, well, it's hearsay. So if you have a camera going, whether on your phone, whether it's a different type of camera, and you show the manager or the higher up, they can't say that didn't happen because you've got it on video. Now I like to videotape. I like to video the good things too, but most cases it's bad because people are being discriminatory toward the LGBTQ community. So you have that fluctuation of good and bad. My point is that if you're going to get upset about people in the LGBTQ community when they call you out, but you think it's okay to be homophobic or transphobic toward those, it's not. I mean, you can do that, and you certainly have the right to do that, but it's not right, it's not correct. And those of you who want to talk about having DNA or chromosomes or all this other stuff, that has nothing to do with who the person is. There are women out there who have XY chromosomes. I've read stories about women with XY chromosomes who've given birth, and they were not a man. So a lot of you ask, well, so you know, trans women can have whatever XY chromosomes. Yeah, they can, and if they're complete and have kids, yes, they can have an XY chromosome. It is possible. It's not about just chromosomes or DNA, but it's also about accepting love and inclusion of those and others within the LGBTQ community. I will talk about anything on here. So whether you agree with it or not, I don't know. That's big. I'm not here to start a fight. I'm not here to argue. But I will speak up when I feel necessary. And I feel that it's necessary for me to speak up right now because of what's going on. Another thing I want to do before I continue is Adam Gilligan, who has a YouTube channel, homeless individual, and I watch his channel all the time, day or night. It could be 2 in the afternoon, 2 in the morning. I watch his channel. Right now, he's in Prescott doing some videos, and I was in the process of watching one a few minutes ago, and then I stopped to do my live here. But if Adam Gilligan is listening, yeah, if you ever come back to Phoenix, I'd like to see you in person and talk or whatever. When you come back, or if you do, I don't know what your plans are, but maybe on your next live, I can give you some contact info. I don't want to give contact info in the open chat because then you fall in the wrong hands. So maybe there's a way that I could email you or text you or something like that, my contact info, so that you could call me and we could definitely meet up. I definitely like to meet new people, so just let me know about that. So back to the topic. The topic is LGBTQ and what some of you out there are doing and the way you're treating all these posts attacking the trans community, which is really wrong, by the way. You should not. I mean, you can, but you can't be surprised when negative sentiments come back to you from somebody that doesn't like the comment that you say, and you cry wolf when they do it, like that person's not as smart, and that's not the way things work. So if you're not listening or watching, think about it. You don't have to agree with it. That's totally fine, but it is what it is. So stop the hate and quit acting like you know everything, because not everybody knows everything. You have to read and learn, and you have to research things to know. But I will say that most of you out there who make these nasty comments toward the trans community, you should actually read about Stonewall before you discuss anything or topics or comments, because what most people will do is they go by what somebody else puts out there, which in most times is not true, or what they think is what they think they understand is not clear. So they're getting misinformation from the community. So, I was talking to someone today on a video chat, and yeah, by me saying that my belief and what you believe, which would be to thinking that being trans or gay is wrong, that goes against my beliefs. Well, they made a point and it made sense. But my point is that if you're going to downgrade or uh, degrade, I should say, trans people or anybody in the LGBT community, then you need to have all the facts before doing so, because it's not it's not right to make fun of people that you don't like when you don't want. The Bible says, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." So if you want to be nasty towards someone, then you want them to be nasty to you, verbally or otherwise. And so you need to treat people how you want to be treated. If you want to be treated like crap, then you're going to treat somebody else like crap. So then that would be what most people would do, and in turn is an aggressive behavior. And that's not what we're shooting for. So again, I urge a lot of you to read about Stonewall, learn the history before you talk about things that you may not know. I do research all the time on things, just sometimes just for curiosity, because I may not know. I want to see what the internet has to say, or I talk to people that have been in that circumstance or know someone who's been, and kind of gain knowledge. You know, that's kind of what I do. So, but I urge you, and thank you for the like, by the way, whoever gave me the like, thumbs up. If you like my channel, please uh, please subscribe if you like my channel and want to just want to talk my thing. Uh, anyway, this is Pink Angel 52 all female. I'll see you on the next one. Remember, hate is not holy, and don't judge others unless you want to be judged. Pink Angel 52 all female out.